Hi, Moon Hackers. Welcome to the Moon Hack Challenge for 2024, where we are all focusing on the little things that we can do to help slow down the effects of climate change. We're going to start our project by visiting the Make Code by Microbit website so that we can access their coding blocks to be able to build our algorithms. Let's click on Start a New Project and give it a name. I'm going to call mine Moonhack 24 Talking Rubbish. We have our starting screen ready to go. We are actually going to use these two basic blocks in our program. So I'm going to use them, leave them on my screen, but I will move the forever one over to the side because I'm not going to be using that just yet. The first things we want to do in our project is actually set up some of the conditions that we need. On the beginning, when we have our program start, let's drag across a string, show string, and let's call that score. We want the people to know that we're going to be showing some scores come through on the screen, and that's what the numbers are all about. We're going to have three variables in our project, and let's now set up the first two. In the variables menu, create a new variable that's called recycle. We're going to track all the items that go into the bin that should actually be recycled. Drag across the set recycle block and leave it as 0 at the very beginning. When we do a hard set on our microbit, we need that recycle to be at a score of 0 or the data of 0. We'll set up a second variable that will be called trash. Now, it's not the nicest name to give it. However, if I was to call it rubbish, which seems a bit nicer, it gives me two words that both start with the letter R. And that's going to make some steps a bit further in the project a bit difficult. So I've chosen to be trash, and we're setting our trash score to 0 to start off with. The next bit we want to do to set up our process is to let the program know how we are going to record the data. And for this, we need to jump into the extensions menu. And we're going to grab this first extension blocks, the data logger. So from the data logger, we are going to drag across the one that says set timestamp, which is down the bottom here. And we're going to choose minutes. So it's going to be making that marker every minute to be able to record the data. Also from that data logger menu, we are going to set the names of the columns. So our data logging will export the data into a spreadsheet for us. And this block sets the name of the top of the columns of that spreadsheet. So our first column, we're going to call recycle. You then click the little plus button. So we've got a second column that will be called trash. So two types of data we are collecting. We're going to press it one more time, that plus button. We're also going to show a total number of rubbish that has been collected into our bin. Okay, we've got that set up nice and ready to go. So now let's code the parts where we have what our users are doing with our microbit. The idea here is that the microbit is placed near a bin, and on the microbit we'll have the A button and the B button labeled as two different things. So if somebody pops a recyclable item into the bin, they'll press the A button, and if they do put a piece of rubbish into the bin, we'll press the B button. So let's set those up. We'll start with the input on button A pressed. That's the first one we want. To begin with, we need to give some feedback to the person who has put the item into the trash. So remember I said button A is going to record recyclable items that go in. From the basics menu, let's grab an LED and let's show a letter R so that they can see that it is a recyclable item that has gone in. They've pressed the right button. When they do that, we need to change our variable of recycle by 1. So we're changing that score. I then want to give that person a little bit of feedback as well. So drag across a show icon, and I'm going to give them the sad face, because if a recycle item is going into our bins, it's really not going to the right place. So a bit of a frown for them. And I'm also going to play them a little bit of music. So my music is going to be a bit sad. So if I click on the melody here, you can create your own piece of music, or you can go to the gallery where they have created a few for you. So I believe, yeah, this scale one is the one I'm going to choose. Starts with a high sound, works its way down to a low sound. It's a little bit slow though, so I am going to I'm going to speed it up. Okay, so it's going to play the sad sound. And then back on the screen again, I would like it to show the total number of recyclable materials that have already been put in there. So from our variables, let's drag across that recyclable. Now, my microbit over here, my virtual one, has just reset itself. So it's showing score. If I was to press the A button, there's my R, sorry, and I've got a total of 1 recyclable in there so far. Our next part is to code the algorithm for when somebody puts a piece of trash in the bin. It's pretty much the same algorithm as the one that we just created. So let's duplicate that piece of code. Now, it's grayed out here because my program is telling me you cannot have 2 algorithms run from button A pressed. Once we change this to button B, it'll come back because now it's a separate input. Need to change this to a T. Remember, this is the trash going into the bin, so we'll make that a letter T. We don't want to change the recycle number here. We want to change the trash number by 0. If rubbish is going into the bin, that's a good thing. So let's give them a smiley face. Let's also give them some happy music. And we're going to change the number to not be the variable recycle, but it will be the variable trash. So as my microbit over here resets itself, I'm ready to go. And now if I press B, it is going to show me T. It's happy I put my rubbish in the bin, and we're up to a score of 1. If I was to press it again, my trash is going to tell me there's 2 items in there. Now that we've coded how to get our people inputting data into the microbit, we need to tell our microbit what we want to actually do with it. I'm going to scroll to another spare space on my screen, and I am going to go back to this forever block that we had before. So far, we have told our microbit how to work out recycle and trash as our variables, but now we also need to create a variable called total. This total is going to be found by adding the numbers of recyclable and trash together. We're going to program the microbit to set that total to be an addition of those other 2 variables. So let's go to our math menu and grab the addition input. Then from our variables, we can grab that recycle. Oops. Let me put it inside the block, and we can grab trash, and we've now told our microbit how to come up with that number that will be our total. To figure out the total and to have it show up on our microbit, we are going to get people to press the A and B buttons together. From our logic menu, grab across this if-then block. It's not something we want happening all the time, but only when it's done. So from input, grab this one, button A, and in the drop-down menu, A and B. So when those 2 buttons are pressed together, let's tell our microbit what to do. The first thing we're going to get it to do is to show a string that says recycle. And after that, we want it to show the number that is the current total from recycle. It's no good just putting the number up because people won't know what that number means. We need that string first. Now we want to do exactly the same for the trash. So let's show the string of trash and then show the number of trash from our variables menu. And the final one we want to be able to do is for total. So let's show the string of total and then show the number of our variable total, where we have set the condition that total is recycle plus trash. Okay, almost finished. The final piece of our puzzle is to program our microbit about how to share the data with us. We've set up the conditions with our columns for our spreadsheet that it is going to present, but we need to give it some more information. From the loops menu, we are going to grab this every block. So this is setting something that's going to happen every certain amount of time. And you want to determine this about where and how long your microbit's going to be at your bin. So if it's perhaps at the end of eating time at school, you might record your data every second because there'll be lots of people coming up. For my project, I'm going to record it every minute. So every minute I want it to record into my spreadsheet those set numbers that we have got set up for recycle, trash, and total. Back in our data logger menu, you're going to grab the block that says log data and pop it into our block here. So the log data from the column recycle, so choose that from the drop-down menu. We are going to log the data from the variables of recycle. Click the plus button on the side there, and for the column trash, we are going to log the value of the variable trash. One more addition. For the column total, we are going to log the value of the variable total. Our program is now set and ready for you to trial out. You can run it on your virtual one here, or you can download it to your own microbit and have a go. Good luck. So you can see here, I've had my data logger running for a few minutes and it's been tracking the data for me. When you're ready to get the data from your microbit, it's a case of connecting your microbit up to your computer and accessing the data from it. I'm so excited that you are joining this Moonhack Coding Challenge. I wish you the best of luck in creating the project and then extending it and changing it and innovating on it and turning it into something that shows what you know about this topic. I can't wait to see your projects submitted back to me here at Moonhack headquarters. We're really excited to see what you come up with, and I know that my judging team are really excited to see your projects as well. I hope that you enjoy the projects, and I can't wait to see all of the finished ones. Happy coding, everyone.